Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. My laptop just went blank, but we live beyond all challenges. Okay. Now, so on today's agenda, um, we're going to do 6 things really. I'm going to introduce the session, also talk about why our goal setting is important. We're going to do a little bit of 2024 reflection, goal setting framework, and how to create a vision board. I mean, a lot of us are here because you must have seen, the flyer, and essentially, we're just going to be setting our goals. And we're not just only setting goals because maybe or maybe not, you've set goals and sometimes you do not achieve them, or most times you do not achieve them. So today, what we are majorly doing is setting goals that with the systems that I'm going to be teaching you, you would most definitely achieve it. Okay. And for me, this is a workshop. I'm assuming that you know that if you're in a workshop, you should have tools to use in the workshop. So the tools that we'll be using here would be first an open mind. I want you to be open-minded. Yes, sometimes sorry about the technical glitch. It could happen, but please just stick around. Secondly, it will be good that you have a notebook and a pen. I mean, there is no point, this is not a podcast, this is not a video or a motivational session, even though along the line I will be motivating you for sure, but I would really encourage you to please have a pen and a book to jot very important things down. But the good thing is I have created a Google Drive so that every single thing that we'll be using during the session will be available to you after the session. Okay, so since you registered, I would send you an email after the session with all of the workbooks, all of the templates that we'll be using, throughout the session. And I think lastly would just be please stay to the end. Thank you very much. Okay, so icebreaker here. For me, I know it's virtual, during my sessions, I like it to be very interactive. So it's okay that interrupt me while we go, but let it be an healthy interruption. Okay. But it will be also good to, wait till the Q&A. But if you think it's really pressing for you to ask, you could just raise your hands up and I'll be happy to, answer them. So a quick icebreaker here. I would like to know your name, where you're connecting from, what lessons in 2024, what's the lesson in 2024 that you want to carry into 2025? So I'll go into the comments box now and see now. Okay, so real quick, let's just do this for 2 to 5 minutes. Your name, where you're connecting from, and what's the lesson in 2024 that you want to carry into 2025? So, well, maybe I'll start. So my name is Adedolapo, and I'm connecting from Lagos. Okay. And a lesson that I would want to carry into 2025 will be resilience. I learned resilience this year, and it will be something I will. Okay, guys, I'm not seeing your comment though. Okay, great. Well, some people are sending it directly to me. You could just share it generally, publicly. Okay, I see you. Hi. All right. Oh, you guys want to talk? Okay. Hi, Ori Blessing. How you doing? Mosun. Okay. Thank you, Abiola. Okay, we have Victoria from Lagos. Okay. Someone said they want to start it now and do it scared. Just to make sure it's done. You don't figure it out. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Someone raised up their hand. Do you want to share with us? Okay, Ola Jumoke from Lagos. Hi, Jumoke. Okay. Nice. So what's the lesson that you learned in 2024 and you want to carry into 2025? It seems like a lot of people are on the wagon of just do it afraid, do it scared. I love it for us all. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, we have Adedolapo from Ghana. Nice. And the lesson will be determination and consistent. Beautiful. Beautiful. So another consistent and understand what's worth doing is worth doing well. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Like I wrote, for me, I think one lesson that I learned in 2024 would be resilience, because 2024 as my Nigerian people, because I know that we might not have, the only Nigerians here or whoever will be watching the recording. There's something we call bastos. That means that life came and literally tumbled me. But I'm glad that I was able to, stay grounded, I stayed firm and, learned resilience even in the midst of all of the basketballs or the turmoil. So that's very good. And for everyone that shared, I really do appreciate your sharing, and I hope someone somewhere is speaking one or two from this. Okay, so moving forward, let's begin. So I want to know if you're ready. Are you ready? Yeah. So maybe I should ask this question. Why exactly are you here? Is it just because, another nice, thank you very much. I'm seeing the, thumbs up emoji. So why exactly are you here? Because it shouldn't just be another motivational or one of those workshops that you see online and you attend. Okay, why exactly are you here? Does anyone want to share why are you here? Okay, well, I would call randomly. Okay. Hi, Jay. Why are you here? Olajumoke, Raisa, Poyomo. Why are you here? I mean, if we can't define out the reason why we're here, then even at the beginning of the session, then there's a problem. Okay. Okay. I guess a lot of people are shy. Um, they're not like me, but it's okay. So, but I hope that the reason why you're here is that you want to make a better life of yourself. And if you work in corporate, for instance, a lot of companies used to set goals, they have plans for themselves, they have strategy sessions, and sometimes for those of us that are in corporate, we are those ones that would help these goals materialize. We go through these strategy sessions with them, do all of these things to actually make them meet their goals. But sometimes we do not take care of ourselves and do the same thing for ourselves. But although that's not even, we're not talking about corporate goals, we're talking about you. And I mean, I sincerely do appreciate the fact that you showed up. It means that you're showing up for yourself. So let's get straight into it. Mm. So a little about me. For those that don't know me, what I do, let's start with what I do. I am a cybersecurity and compliance product manager in a company called ShortPoint in the US, and I am the founder of LearnArc. It's a tech school helping individuals build rewarding careers and including people with disabilities. And I think this is one of the biggest win for me in the year 2024. I also do mentor lead list. I help guide individuals towards career excellence. Now, what are my passions? So, I mean, just to summarize, I love to teach, I love to mentor, and I love to create impact. When I learn anything, I want to share it back, give it back to the world. And fun fact is that one of my best food is amala and ewedu. For anyone that doesn't know, and anyone that wants to host me anytime in the future, just give me amala and ewedu, and I think that we can be best friends. Okay, yeah, it's a little about me. So why is goal setting important? I mean, they said, and there's this very popular adage or popular saying that said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And the reality is anything that you do not define, you cannot measure. And I'm sure that we've heard of this all the time. But for us, we just most times just live life as it comes, or we just take what life gives to us. But that should not be the case. So there was this question, I mean, I think in 2020 that I asked myself. Well, I didn't ask myself, I was reading a book and that question stood out for me. The question was, what is the difference between mediocrity and being average? What is the difference between mediocrity? Mediocrity is when you're not, performing to the optimum. For instance, now if you're supposed to be the best in your field, you're just, let's say, the average. You're not like the top 10, top 20 kind of thing. You're just average. And what does it mean to be an average person generally? I don't know if anyone wants to give an input to that. Maybe this would drive us. Someone is laughing. Okay. I think I'll stop even asking anyone here. I'll just hit the ground running. I think you guys are just very serious people. Like, okay, let's get to it. Yeah, but I'm very used to interactive sessions because I feel like when people give feedback immediately, it makes me feel good as the facilitator as well. But then let's just hit the ground running. I would actually adapt to my audience. So this audience are very serious people. So I'll wear my serious jackets now. I'm very serious as well. So
No, we're in.
no, since you guys are coming serious, I am going to be very serious.
Sorry. No, we're in.
Military
We're
style.
in.
Military style.
No, we're civilians, please.
Okay. All right. So you guys, let's cheer up. And this is what I love to do. So I was supposed to actually share a video with you guys on last year in Istanbul. I was 8 months heavily pregnant, and I had a physical workshop like this, and I wanted to, and I'm a very spiritual person. I love God a lot. So, and it was pressed in my heart that I should do this for women as at, I think it was March, yeah, during the women's, what's it called? Women's month, right? It's always in March. And it was pressed and I had to do it. And the beautiful thing is that I got all this 50, about almost 20 people actually registered and they showed up and we started this session. And at some point during the session, I had a lady. I don't know if you're interested in seeing a testimony. I'll find a way to share it during the email. No, I'll share it with everybody when I send out, the workbooks and all. I'll share so that it could, inspire and motivate you. So this lady came in and she said she has been doing a PhD for more than 5 years or 7 years thereabout, almost 10 years if I'm not wrong. And it was one of the things that we set up on our goals and also did a vision board and everything. And I can tell you that this lady is a graduate. She has a PhD now and she has complicated as well. So you see the video, you see the testimony. This is not someone just coming up saying anything to you. And this is just the important. And I mean, if she had known all of these things before, maybe she would have aced it, finished a long time ago. So why I'm saying this is that you guys are, you're blessed, you're lucky to be in a session. And don't just take it ordinarily. Everything that I said, it might even look like you've heard it before. This time around, I want you to hear it and act on it. There is no, see, it's better you just log off right now, to be honest, and be sincere with yourself. If you're not going to implement anything that we're going to do here. I think that is one of the things that I should have mentioned earlier. I'm liking how I'm being military right now. That's very good. So yeah, but the truth is, if you know you're not going to be implementing anything here, don't waste your time. Just go and sleep or just go and watch a movie or do something else. But the only people that will reap or will achieve greatly from the session will be people that are ready to execute. Let me tell you something. If you pay $1,000, $20,000 to a coach that can help you set your goals and everything, at the end of the day, All that matters is implementation and execution. So it's very important that if you're not, don't try to stay back. Okay. So now, um, can we get slides afterwards? Okay, slides. I mean, you get the video and the slides will be in the video. I hope that counts. But you get even much more. Like I am, oh, you guys are so blessed. I wish I had this years ago, someone that would create things like this for me. But well, it's good that because I didn't have it, I'm giving it out. So now I was talking about the lady that was doing a PhD for years and finally did. And this is because she I think you just get tired of your situation and you're like, I'm ready to change my life. So where you want to be, your emotion right now should be, I am ready to change my life. You might have heard almost everything on, well, I'm sure not almost everything, don't worry. Most of the things that I'm going to be saying, but the only thing you need to do is implement. So why do you need to goal set, or why is goal setting important? It's clarity and focus. And I said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You cannot define what you cannot measure, right? When you set a goal, you actually know what you want to do. You're not just, if someone wakes you up in the morning, if I have asked you now that, okay, in 2024, what are your goals? If you didn't set any goal at all, I mean, you'll be like, I wish, or it will be like a matter of I wish, I want. But when you set your goals, you have like clear, clear, clarity, like everything is clear. You know what you're supposed to do. Another thing is sense of purpose. There's this thing happening around the world where people are feeling depressed, suicidal. I mean, it's if you well, if you have defined a reason to exist or you've defined a reason to live, trust me, it reduces the chances of you being depressed. It happens because you even see people that are high flyers, in their careers, feeling depressed and even feeling suicidal. And you're wondering why. This is because most times they are pursuing, or what drives them is, their job. What drives them is other things. Sometimes even Christians, sometimes it's like what drives them is their ministry. They are never about themselves. It's not about them. It's about, the external factor, how, they can excel in all of those things. I remember when I mentioned that I asked myself an important question, and I know I've not answered that. My train of thought all over again. Don't mind me, I'm sometimes always everywhere, but I try to still get back to it. So I asked myself, what's the difference between being average and being mediocre, and being a mediocre person? So the answer that came to me is that an average person, generally in life, you're just average in everything that you do. I'm trying, I don't want to be philosophical. I'm just being very, very simple. You're average. So it means that in your relationship, okay, I'm married, right? In my relationship, I'm average. Like that means my relationship is about, if I'm going to put it on the scale of 1 to 10, it's about 5. I mean, sometimes I enjoy that one, that sometimes fight that I have with my husband, is I am already normalizing it, normalizing those sort of things. I'm normalizing the fact that maybe we don't go out as much, or maybe we're living as roommates. It's a normality, but I'm still married. I mean, of course, I'm not divorced, so I normalize that. Secondly, I normalize that I am in a career that I don't like for 10 to 15 years, but I mean, it's paying the bills. So I normalize it. So it's fine. I feel on a scale of 1 to 10, I feel I'm okay. I'm not even getting promoted. I'm not being recognized as a thought leader, but I normalize it like, okay, it's paying the bills. I stay there. Yeah, that's an average person. The third thing is, okay, let me look at another facet of life. Let's say your business. For 5 years, your year-on-year revenue is, let's say, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, and you're fine with it for 5 years. People in your industry are recording 100 million. People in your industry are recording 200 million, but you're like, he pays the bills, you normalize that. That is an average person. And that's an average person. Now, a mediocre person is someone that, okay, yes, yes, they know by themselves that, okay, they need to improve themselves. They know, or it's really affecting them, but they decide not to do anything at all and they just stay there. So I don't know if you are that kind of person, if you are both an average or a mediocre person. Mediocre people are not the best in what they do. Yes, they do it and they can do it, but they decide not to improve. An average person, this is just my own definition, but what I realize is that you keep living like when you just realize, oh, I'm 30 years old, I'm 35, and you're not happy, you're not feeling fulfilled, you become bitter, you become envious of people that you see on social media doing the same thing that you're doing and they're thriving. That's not the person you want to be. You want to be the best version of yourself. And trust me, people that are the best version, people that you admire on the internet or wherever, or they're doing the thing, are people that have clarity and focus on what they're doing. And there are people that have decided that they want to be high flyers, they want to be the best, either in their relationship, in their business, in their lifestyle, health, wellness, whatever. They are the ones that have made a decision to, become that, and they have clarity on what they want to do as regards, whatever facets of life that they pursue. Now, I talked about clarity and purpose. I talked about sense of purpose, and it also setting goals helps you grow. I mean, no one will set a goal. You used to earn 5 million last year, and you set a goal that you want to earn 2 million. I don't know what that is, but please, if you are here, don't set that sort of goal. You set goals that actually challenge you, that helps you grow. Now, it also helps you measure success. I know that I have talked about very quantifiable goals like, okay, your revenue, you can actually quantify it because it's money. There are some things that you cannot quantify is, maybe an improvement in your relationship, for instance. But when you set goals correctly, it helps you measure success. So these are some of the things or some of the reasons why you should be setting goals. If you want to have clarity and focus, if you want to have a sense of purpose, if you want to grow in your life, and for you to be able to measure success for yourself. Okay, so moving on. I want us to do something. It's our 2024 reflection. And I want us to, I'm going to open, all this I will share with you. I'm going to open, the workbook right now. Like I said, there's no point being here if you're not going to do the work. And if you don't have a pen or a book, just quickly open your notepad. And I know we may not be able to finish it during the session because it requires you to, really think. But at least just do one or two. It's fine, so that you can build on that after the session. So one thing I like to do is to look back to leap forward. Looking back to leap forward simply means that you want to assess yourself. You want to know where you are at to be able to decide where you want to be, right? So let me share the things. So I think I would have to share on my screen and stop sharing this one. Okay. Now, you guys can confirm that you can see my screen, okay? So I created this sheet just to make things easier. So by the way, for those of us that don't know how to use Google Sheet, or you're not really a technical kind of person, you like pen and book like me, but I'll just advise that go digital. And all of this platform allows you to keep things, because you could lose your book, you could lose the paper or things that you jot, or all of this will always be in your email, in your drive forever, and you could always refer back to them. And if you're not even in Nigeria, you can access it anywhere you are in the world without having to carry something physical. But if you still like the physical way of doing things, it's fine. So all you just need to do is write this. I want us to reflect real quick on 4 major things: accomplishments, your challenges, growth, and gratitude. Now, in 2024, what did you achieve this year that you're proud of? Just think about it real quick. This is a 10-minute session. I know we cannot. I wrote some examples down so that can help us drive our thinking. Maybe you started a new job or project that aligned with your passions. You achieve personal growth by developing a new habit. What is something, one or two things, or three that you're proud of that you accomplished? Just quickly write it down. I give you, like I said, we may not be able to finish it. Oh, you know what? Let's just do one so that we can move with time. And afterwards, you can still go back to reflect. Now, the second thing will be, what obstacle did you face and how did you overcome it? Did you face any obstacle in the year 2024? For me, I did a lot. A lot. A lot. So I gave some examples. Face setback but learn resilience. Manage work-life balance during a demanding season. Navigated unexpected changes such as job loss, relocation, or personal struggles. Tackled procrastination or self-doubt to move forward on important goals. So I want you to write that down. Now, the next will be growth. One lesson did you learn that have shaped who you are today? I want you to write all of these things down. And lastly is gratitude. What lesson did you learn that have shaped who you are today? Oh, sorry. This is not what lesson you learned. Let me quickly update that. Should be, what are you thankful for? Okay. So we have accomplishment, we have challenges, we have growth and gratitude. I hope you guys are ready. We're driving somewhere. This is a step-by-step process. So when you get this template, you can just edit this and put your name. So it could be Adedolapo. And I've been doing this since 2019. And trust me, my life has changed for the better. So are we good? Let me see the emojis. I had to, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so Booker, you raised your hand. Tell me, please. So I'm switching screens to be able to see your messages, hence why, but I'll go back now. So I'll give you guys just 2 more minutes to, take down notes, do whatever you want, and we'll get going. All right, 1 more minute left. Okay, so I will move forward now so that we don't waste so much and we have a lot to do. Now that we've done that, I'm going to be really talking from an assumption, and the assumption is from my experience coaching people with goal setting and also from my own personal experience. I know that it might look like, oh, you cannot remember things that have happened during the year because it's been 12 months, or some things could stand out to you that you could quickly just document down. Let's quickly tackle things you cannot remember. So if you're not one that has defined what they wanted during the year, it will be very difficult to do this exercise. And this is the things that you want to change, and this is what goal setting will help you do. Another thing that this reflection does for you is just to help you know where you are at the moment and where you want to be. So let's take, for instance, now, it's easier for me to document or write out my accomplishment, challenges, and all, because I'm someone that reviews continuously and on a quarterly basis. So where you want to be shouldn't be where you are second guessing your life. This is your life. We're not saying do this for Coca-Cola or do this for the company that you work for. So you're doing a reflection on your own life. So you're not doing it for your business, for you. So you want these things to come very easily to you because you're one person that knows where you want to go. As a matter of fact, everyone that you admire, everyone that you look up to are people that, do all of these exercises and are committed to it and are consistent with it. If you think documenting these things are boring, then I believe you're not ready to give it what it takes to achieve what you want. If companies, I'm using corporate or big organizations, document, lesson length. If you're in the corporate world, they call something lesson length. You yourself should be able to document things like that. And why are they doing it? It's because they can learn from the past to become a better version of themselves or to implement better in their company. So I think that's a cue for you to actually do it. Now back to our slide. Can I get, I mean, if you guys don't answer me, I'll do military for you people. Though. I'm back to the screen because I cannot see anybody raising their hand. What's your take on your reflection? I mean, I'm recording this and it's going to go to the internet. If you're not comfortable talking, it's fine. Does anyone want to share what this activity you understand did to them, or I mean anything? Just let me know. Anyone at all? Okay. Jemima, let's hear you.
Okay, so Chris is going to go out. I'm going to try to not say precisely,
Okay.
but one of the things that I can talk about is when it comes to the corporate world, it is you first. Like you first. You don't initially I used to think, try to focus on just carry everybody along. But something happened and I figured I'm actually on my own. So it is you when it comes to your work, when it comes to job, it is you first. Yeah, I think that's enough. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. And maybe I understand it as when you were reflecting back as to, maybe the challenges that you face, you realize that maybe because I know you personally and I think I understand where you're coming from. So you realize that you need to take care of yourself first. You need to put yourself first before you start carrying other things. And because at the end of the day, if you do not take care of yourself first, even the company, if they see that they cannot get any value from you, they will drop you. Yes or yes. That's it. And I mean, it's good to understand that you first always. The reason why anyone likes you or love you is because they believe that you are valuable. Simple as that. Did anyone raise their hands? I think I'll just go back to just sharing the slide so that I can easily move back and forth. Okay. Okay. Ori Blessing, please. Tell me.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So for me, I think that doing the exercise, right, from the beginning, I felt a little sad because beginning of 2024, I had a lot planned out. So writing the achievement and all of that, and my challenges and all of that, I realized I am not exactly done more than half of what I was supposed to do, right? And so, yes, I felt a little sad, a little. So, I mean, I'm going to go back to when you said that there are a lot of depressions in the world right now, and mostly because people don't have something to look forward to. I feel like sometimes you feel depressed because you have not, I mean, you have something to look forward to, but it's hard to get to where you are or where you want to go to. So the frustration and everything makes it a little depressed. But going to the gratitude side, yes, I felt a little better. I mean, I know that it's just something I need to work on. I need to focus more on the gratitude side and all of that stuff. But yes, I felt a little better. I mean, I have done a couple of things. Not like I didn't do anything throughout 2024, right? It's just I'm not where I want to be. So yes, I think that's what this did for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rory, for sharing. That's actually very heartwarming to hear. And I think you're giving yourself the best gift for being here today. And it's okay because even research shows that, I think 80%, I'm sorry if the data is not correct, but something around that number of people that set goals do not achieve them. So, I mean, even though the goal is for you to take you out of that statistic and move to maybe the 20% of people that set most of their goals and achieve them, to be honest, even the best goal setters, you might not achieve every single thing. Let me take, for instance, now. Even though you've set goals, you have a system that I'll teach you today. Life happens. Like, take, for instance, Nigeria, the economy, things beyond your control. Those are exceptions. But at the end of the day, what you want to take is that you want to be able to achieve most of your goals, especially with things that you can control. The things that you cannot control, I mean, you can't even feel bad about it, right? And this exercise, when you do it, you realize that I mean, the reason maybe why you didn't achieve it was because of maybe Nigeria or external things that you cannot control. But I mean, thank you so much for sharing. And I know that this might be how a lot of us feel. I mentioned you're depressed, but you don't have clarity. And it's good that I'm knowing that, or it's the truth that sometimes you're depressed because you are not achieving the goals that you set out. But don't worry, this is a place where we learn to achieve our goals and make things better. Okay, so let's move forward. Now, I'm going to go very granular as and I want you to forget however you have been setting goals. This is another way entirely, or you might be familiar with it. So I'm going granular, very basic, but just act on it. Okay, moving. Now, when you set your goals, I don't know how you people set goals or how people set goals. Let me talk about how I used to set goals. It already reminds me of myself, 2018, 2017, where I say, I'll read 100 books. Or, I mean, I'm not saying that's already goals, but this is how I used to be. I'll tell myself, I'll just write on a sheet of paper, then I was not digital. Right, I'll read 100 books this year. I'll make maybe 3 million naira this year. I'll do this year. I'll do this year. These are my goals for the year. And I would always typically set them at the beginning of the year. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? Just, I will do this, I will do that, I will do this, I want to do this, I want to do that. That was how I used to set my goals. I'll write it down. Sometimes I'll even buy a new journal, a new book, and write it in the first page of that book so that I could see it. And oh wow. I do, the truth is I don't achieve that. I don't achieve those goals. Maybe almost 90% of them I don't. But when I realized that, or when I learned, because the truth is this wisdom did not come from heaven, I also took time to read books, get coached on how to set goals. So I'm not coming and saying, oh, it was something that I was, no. And this is me encouraging you. I mean, if you want to be the better version of yourself, you need to give yourself how to learn it. You need to give yourself how to personal development. It is a no-brainer. Yeah, I would have to put that on. So I learned what they call goal setting bucketing, where you bucket all your goals into different categories. Okay, so now you see, yeah, these are just examples of things that I do. So I used to use what we call the wheel of life. This is just how I do it, but I don't want to limit your own creativity, and that's because everybody's circumstances are different. I wouldn't want to say, okay, just set goals around this category: family, faith, finance. You can, I mean, it's your goal. It's not my goal. It's your goal. So you want to bucket your goal. So these are recommendations for you. You have family, you have faith, you have finance, you have fitness, you have career, business, travel, social media, personal development. As a matter of fact, these are the categories I do bucket my goals. So I want you right now to bucket your goals. I mean, you might not have the goal defined, and for those of us who already have those goals, just put it in the categories that you think they should fall in. Yeah. So let's quickly do that real quick. And by the way, I'm also going to be sharing, this is what it will look. Oh, now I have to share all my screen. And you know what? Let me just share all my screen. It doesn't matter. It's a workshop. You guys will be moving with me. And I hope everyone is, working. You're not just watching. take a book, take a paper, open, if it's WhatsApp, my WhatsApp has, how you can write to yourself. Do something, don't just listen. So I'm going to stop presenting so that I can share the goal templates that I have. And I'll show you how to do this as well. So, guys, confirm you can see my screen.
Yes.
Beautiful. Great. Thank you.
Yes.
So much. Okay. Okay. So you're going to do something like this. I'll share this template with you, so don't worry. Maybe family. Well, in fact, let me share this real quick. My 12-week year planner. Okay. All of this resource you get, don't worry. So this is my 12-week year planner. These are examples. So these are just examples. This doesn't reflect my maybe some of these does, but I won't tell you which one. But yeah, these are examples. Forget all these things. All you just want to do is family, faith, and write all the goals, what you want to achieve. Forget all these ones. So you remember we're learning how to set goals. Yeah. So I'll just write family. Like for example, I have one a day with my husband at least once monthly. Faith, read the 5 books of Moses in the Bible. That's my spirituality. I'm a Christian. Business, make $3,000, $30,000 in sales monthly. Career, I want to transition into being a product manager in tech. I want to have $30,000 in personal savings. Fitness, I want to lose 10 kg. You know what, guys? Let me tell you one that is actually true is I want to lose 10 kg. Yeah. Okay. I hope we're doing this. Everyone is bucketing their goals. You already put it in different buckets. Either, let me show you again. Family, faith, career, business, social media. I started setting, for years I never set a social media goal, but this year and last year actually I did set social media goal. So if you're one person that wants to become a thought leader, you want to be an influencer, you want to share what you know, I think it's good to put yourself out there. It's really good. Some people say I'm not a social media person, but as it is now, it looks like if you really want to get recognized, you have to be out there, sharing your work. As a matter of fact, you guys, most of everyone in this call knew about this workshop on social media, right? Right. Okay. So I'm giving you about another, say, 5 minutes. You guys, you can still do the real thing after, but this is just, exercise so that we move forward. So 2 minutes more. Okay. So guys, are we good to go? Can I continue? All right. Oh, Ebere Chuku. Okay, sorry. I see that someone already answered you. Everyone, don't worry. I'm sharing all these documents with you so you can use it. Rest assured, but it will be good that you practice so that you can ask questions. The truth is, if you're waiting that, okay, I'll get it and I will figure it myself. Well, I know that we have geniuses here, but it's good that you practice so that things that you do not understand on the template, you can quickly ask questions now so that you do it correctly when you're setting your goals. Okay. Excuse me. Let's move on to the next slide. Goal setting framework. How many of you have heard about the SMART goal? Though my own is SMART. I added P there, so it's different. If I just say so myself, just act like you've never heard of it, but the fact that I added P should make it my own, right? And well, this is not a framework that I designed, but it's something that I've been working. So let me tell you guys a quick backstory about my goal setting should I call it career or my goal setting process? So I started doing this in 2019, like I said, actively and correctly for myself. And I remember one time, I'd written a goal for my career that I wanted to, you know, work in an international company. So I think I wrote I wanted to work for a multinational company, right? And one of the things that I wrote, I wasn't very specific. I just said I wanted to work in a multinational. Multinational means in the country that I am domiciled in, like in Nigeria. Then we have multinationals like AXA, like Coca-Cola. Those are companies that are internationally based. I really just wanted to work with them, but I wasn't specific. I just wanted any, you know, and then I started applying to them. I was getting interviews. I remember Totals called, so many things, but so many other companies called as well. But I didn't, I was just applying randomly. I didn't know what exactly I wanted in the multinational. I just wanted a multinational company. But the truth is, the moral of the story is that yes, I did get into one, to be honest. But I realized that maybe, or just maybe, I would have gotten into one faster if I knew the type of multinational, what industry I wanted, and focused all the energy I used in Western applying generally, because I wanted to work in a multinational company. It would have been easier for me. So, I mean, of course, I did lesson learn, just like done reflection, right? And I told myself that I wanted to work in tech, in core tech industry. As at I think 2020, during the pandemic, I'll tell you what worked. As we go, I will show you a system. So by the way, Ori, I don't know if I mentioned, is it Ori or more? I'm very sorry. Ori said that, oh, she was setting goals and all. So I'll tell you that goal setting and success is dependent on the framework and framework, system, and execution. Those three things: framework, system, and execution. Anyways, back to me saying I wanted to work in tech. So I started, investing in a lot of learning, like taking courses on Udemy, doing so many self-development, learning different tools, learning so many things, right? And when the opportunity came, I was prepared for it and I did get the job. Yeah. So this is to say that when you are goal setting, the framework you use in defining or designing your goals would affect your results. So the framework I used to use prior to 2019 was just a list. I was just writing a list, and I don't even know if that's the framework. Or, yeah. So there are different frameworks. We have what we call OKRs, objective and key results, so many. But I realized, because right now I'm the goal manager for the company that I work with, and trust me, because of my input, I set the goal for the whole company. They get results that are not in thousands, in millions of dollars. And I remember one time, the owner of the company told me, he said, you know what, Adedolapo, we've been trying to set goals for this company since we started, because it's a startup, but we just never, achieve it. We just forget about it. And why I'm saying sharing this thing is because I did not use the SMART for the company that I work with. I don't use that. I use what we call OKRs. If you go on my YouTube, you may see that me talking about OKRs, setting goals. I will use that framework for, startups. And if I was to be setting goals for a much larger company, I'll use another framework. But I've known that the SMART, and I added the P, we'll get to talking about each of the elements real quick, is the best for individuals, for human beings. I won't say we should use OKRs here and come and teach us OKR. I've seen that people use OKRs to set goals, use the framework to set goals for their life, and it works. But this I've seen to have worked, time and time again, and it's very easy to use. Okay, So I'm not saying other frameworks don't work, but this one works most of the time, especially if you're setting personal goals. So now everyone or most of you must have heard it. So your goals has to be specific. If you're setting goals that are very generic, you're most likely not to achieve them. And I'll explain why. If I say, like my first example, I want to work in a multinational company. What multinational company exactly? What industry exactly? You want to be very specific about it. So I allowed you guys bucket your goals, like, and just write it out. Not talking about the SMART yet, because I know that right now, maybe for someone here, you might have written family. I want to have a loving marriage in 2025 or however it is. I'm believing that we're planning for 2025. Yeah. And it's good that you set goals that are, in close proximity. You can start setting goals for 20 years after, but let's just keep it at 1 year for now. Okay. So your goals has to be specific. So if you're 1 year that said, oh, you want to have a loving or thriving marriage, or you want to, maybe you have friends, you want to be very intentional about your friends, you need to be specific. So remember when I showed you guys this? So you see here that I said go on a date with my husband at least once monthly. Now I've realized that the by the way, remember that not everything on that goal is my reality. Just saying, just putting it out there. But let's take for instance, I realized that I've not been spending so much time with my husband, my relation, because I don't want to be an average or a mediocre person in my marriage. I've seen that I'm a 5, we are most likely living like roommates, you understand? And I decided that okay, I know that I want better. I want us to be much more loving, like when we first met each other. So what I want to do, how am I going to, what is it that I'm going to set to know that, okay, me and my husband, we are thriving in marriage. So I know that in time past, we always go out on a date a lot, but life happens, you understand? And as for us, it means that, we are loving and we are thriving because, we spend much more time together. So what happened to me is that we go on a date. Go on a date with him. So whatever goal you're writing, make sure that you are very, very, very specific. If you say I want to increase my revenue is a very generic goal. So you can say I want to increase my revenue by earning $30,000 in my business. I don't know if that makes sense, or I mean, be very specific. So I'll give us time to rework whatever we've written and check and review. Are those goals specific? Real quick, just 2 minutes. And by the way, I mean, you can still do it all over again. I'll just give you 1 minute so that you can understand. So in the case where you don't understand how to be specific, you can ask me those questions now and you can address them so that you know that you understand how to write specific goals. Okay? Okay. So 1 minute, 50 seconds, 40 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 0 seconds. Okay, moving on to measurable. Now, are your goals measurable? So you see, for me, yeah, I've mentioned at least once monthly. You want to put a metric to it that, okay, for you to know, you cannot measure something you did not define. It will be like, so remember that I told you that so some goals are very easy to quantify, like the ones for revenue. So like the one for love now, and that's why I use that as an example. It's like, how will you know that you guys are much more in love? And I'm so sorry if anyone has gone through an heartbreak and like, why is this person talking about love? Um, I don't know. I didn't mean to trigger anything, but I hope you guys get the point. And I hope I'm making everyone smile. But love is a very beautiful thing. So for the goals that are not quantifiable, you need to still put something that you would use to measure that. And when you are, because when you're reflecting or reviewing it and say, oh, did we do this? Oh, we went out once monthly. I mean, of course, we must have had a good time, and I think our communication have improved better or whatnot. So you want to put a metric to it. Okay. Now, achievable. Oh, don't be too overambitious, because sometimes the reason why you'll be depressed is because you were overambitious. You know your capacity. You can't set something that is way beyond your talent. So let me give you an example. Remember that I told you one of those things in the goal, and I even told you that the 10 kg goal to lose 10 kg was one. Yes, it was. And I remember then I had said to myself, I'll be going to the gym every day. Oh my God. I was going to that fit farm, and that was not possible. Like, my schedule would never have allowed me go to the gym every day. Like, no, it's not possible. And I felt so bad, that I felt so horrible, because anytime I stand on the scale, it's looking like the number keeps increasing, not decreasing. And of course, I wasn't going every day, and I'll feel bad the days that I didn't go to the gym. I might go 3 days on a row, the remaining days that I couldn't go, I'll feel bad, because the truth is, it's not achievable, it's not realistic. My life cannot accommodate me going to the gym every single day. I am not a fitness influencer or anything that would allow. I mean, if you get what I mean. So you're also saying, oh, you currently know your business, and you know the environment that you know the kind of customers that you're serving. You can't start saying, that you even though you encourage you to dream big, be realistic as well. You can't start saying, maybe if you're a tailor, giving an example, we have the likes of Vicky James and some very amazing Nigerian, seamstress. I don't know if there's a difference between seamstress and tailor, but you guys get the point. So they have so many networks. She might come out and she's on Forbes, for instance, and you not say, oh, and on her maybe interview she had written that she makes $100,000 yearly. You can't come out and say for your own goal too, because she's your role model or something, you want to put $100,000. Put something achievable so that it's easier for you to actually achieve it. So let me tell you what I did with my fitness goal. So I realized that, of course, I cannot go to the gym every day. But one thing I can do, that I know I could most probably take walks every day, because the goal essentially is that I am on a wellness journey, and the part of the program was that I actually exercise every day. So I said, okay, why don't I put in that? Okay, I'll do maybe 4,000 or 5,000 steps every day. You understand? And that was it. And for that, my gym aspiration, I actually had to be realistic with myself and told myself, okay, I could do 2 to 3 times a week, which was fair. So that even though maybe I put on my calendar every morning I go to do, and something came up on Monday and I couldn't go, I could choose any other day in the week to do it, so that I know that when I'm doing a review, I actually met my goal, achieved it. So now we understand specificity, measurability, and what it means to write a goal that is achievable and realistic. So another one is rewarding. So your goal must be rewarding. Rewarding means that it must be a goal that actually pushes you, and when you achieve it, it makes you feel good. So one of the things that I do is, anytime I achieve my goals, right? And we'll get somewhere, and I didn't put it on the slide, but I'll just talk about it real quick. So I'm not one person that starts my year January 1st. I've learned to understand that setting what do they call it, a 1 year goal sort of thing doesn't work for me. And that's, I have I do what I call a 12-week year. It was inspired by a book that I read, and I saw that it's been working. I remember that I mentioned OKR. So OKR also works in alignment with this 12-week thing, where we set goals for every quarterly based goals. So now with my life too, I do not set goals for 1 year straight. I always like to bucket it into quarters, right? Because I realized that if you said you do something in 12 years, before you know, by June, July, August, you might even lose motivation. Life might happen. You might even get better opportunities. So I know we'll talk about something in the future where I talk about where how to review and adjust. So when you set goals that are quarterly based, so what I do is every quarter I set this sort of goals. I use the sheet, by the way, to set my 12-week goals and put. It's very easy because I know that in 3 months I can work actively on it and review and adjust and achieve them. So after that quarter, I review. I use the sheet to review and I say that I achieved any of those goals or achieved most of those goals. And you'll notice that goals that are set in for a short time and you're actively working on it, and like it's sorry, what I wanted to say is that goals that you set for a shorter time, you are most likely to achieve them because a short time you can, invest time in it. And if there are any changes within those periods, you can easily adjust, not something that you set for a year. So if you said, okay, in December you're going to do so, so, and so, but like I said, external factor happen, you might not achieve it. So I'd also recommend that every 1 year set goals that are quarterly based. You can do 1 year, but this is my recommendation. So now in terms of rewarding, once I've achieved my goals, I get myself something good. Like I tell myself, if I can achieve this, I will do this for myself. Right. Back to fitness. I told myself, oh, I've done now, by the way, I've not lost 10 kg. I hope I do in the coming quarters. But if I achieve this, I'm going to do this for myself. Maybe buy myself a set of, go take myself on a shopping spree and really spoil myself. Or if I achieve my business goals, take myself on a vacation. If I achieve this in my revenue, I mean, if let's just say my goal was 30,000 USD, I'm going to take out maybe $3,000 and treat myself well. Sorry, guys, can you hear me? I hope I'm not talking to myself. I just need to check.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, treat myself well. So you want to set the goals and put rewards to it, right? And this approach also, although it's very good, I also have accountability partners where I share goals, but it's just that you want to be sure that your accountability partners are people that are visionaries and not people that would actually talk you out of it. Because some people say, how will you say that? Have you seen $30,000 in your life? You don't want those sort of people to. So I'm always like, you can be accountable to yourself, and that's why you're creating these systems. But in the case where you are one that really needs to get an accountability partner, tell them about your goal, share it with them, and also tell them the rewards you give to yourself. It's actually a very beautiful experience. Okay, so moving on to the key prayerfully. See, I've realized that as I set my goal, I live generally. I have to be spiritual about it. Yes, I understand all the frameworks. Yes, I have read all the books. I've seen all the things that it has worked for me. It has worked for other people. But life happens. Sometimes you want to set the tone of your life in the spiritual, and that is where you have like some prophetic you clarity. So there are times where I will set certain goals, and when I pray about it, I just realize that I have to. Maybe God will just tell me that is not the year you're supposed, or that's not the quarter. You need to push it forward. Or sometimes I've set certain goals, and in my place of prayer, I just get something to do or hard to as a goal to work on. Now let me tell you something. So at some point, every time I tell myself I want to read the Bible from Genesis to it, this is an example. I don't want to go very personal, but this is something that maybe a lot of us can relate to because this is going on right now. I remember I've always set a goal that I will read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation this year. Every those times that I used to set goals for myself, that I'll read the Bible, I'll read the Bible. And let me tell you something, it never happened. And I was like, how will I do it? So one time I was just praying and I just had a lead in that, okay, I have to read the Bible based on certain things. And I was like, wow, I explained. So I was like, okay, now you need to read the books of the prophet because you have this certain calling in your life. And it was very easy for me. And it was very easy for me to read all of the book of the prophet. Before you knew it, then I took up another theme on, the creation of the world, went back to Genesis, so many things. And it was very easy for me to achieve my goal of reading the Bible from, Genesis to, Revelation. And that is because I got that clarity in the place of prayer. So if you're someone that is spiritual, some people might not be Christians, yeah, but you have what we call meditation. Like, don't just rush into defining your goals. Sit in silence, think deeply about it, and trust me, you get clarity as well. Now, I'll say this is the one that covers it up. Your goal must be timely. You cannot set an open-ended goal. Why? Then it's not a goal. Just don't set it at all. Okay? So if you say, I want to do this, when exactly do you want to do? You need to put a time to it. So now, if anyone wants to share their goal, but now I know you people will answer me, but this is it. If you're setting a goal that I want to increase my revenue, so now you can say, I want my revenue to increase to $30,000, yeah, by 3rd of March 2025. Yeah, put a time to it. Don't worry, we're going into the systems now, so we know how to do this as well. So now that I've finished the slide, I want to get feedback from you guys. Are there any questions? I will go to the screen so that I can see if anyone raised their hands. Okay.
No question.
All right. Thank you. It's clear. So I hope you will be setting SMART goals. Now, the goal setting system. This is what I call, I don't even have a name for this, but this is how I set the goal, and you should be setting the goal because it works. So the first thing is the what, why, how, when, and who. The first thing is, what's your goal? You define the goal. Why do you want to achieve that goal? Why? Is it because it's something everyone is doing? So let's say you have a social media goal or you decided to add social media to your bucket of goals, right? Why are you doing that? Or what are the things that these are the things you cannot just set a goal and not write the why. And that is the mistake a lot of people make. You just write the list out, write the why. You realize that why at the point where you're writing the why, you realize that you might not even want that goal. It's just because it's something that is trending or not. Or it might even give you a more it might give you more drive to pursue that goal because of the why to your goal. So do not set goals that you do not put why to. So you see here, guys, that sorry. So there's an example here. So let's say, by the way, I got this template of someone and it's amazing. The one I used before was just very, I think it was going to be complicated for some people that are not really technical, so I had to adapt this. So now let's say this person will use world livelihood, and the person says for, like in this case, let's say finance, they want to contribute 6,000 to the IRA. IRA means like the retirement fund. Why do you want this? So a why could be because I want to, retire good, or I want to be able to provide for my grandchildren. There must be a why to whatever you're doing. Okay? So the next year is how. Another mistake, or yeah, it's a mistake, or it's a common mistake when people set goals is that they will not detail how they want to achieve that goal. And don't lie, God is watching you. When you write your goal, have you ever written what the goal is? Have you ever written why the goal, why you're setting that goal, and how you're setting that goal, how you're going to achieve that goal, and when you're going to, and who is going to support you with it? Have you ever done that and you did not achieve most of it? I think maybe our Ori, I hope you don't mind. Is this how you used to set your goal before and you never achieved it? Let me see if Hori's here. Okay, hurry. Okay, I think she's here, but maybe she's not here. So just circling back to our conversation about setting goals and accuracy. When you set the what, the why, and the how, right? How you want to achieve it would, and when you are writing the how, it's not like okay, you will be so detailed that you know what to do to achieve that goal. Now, once you get this goal template, when you put your bucket, so you can just simply just change it to finance and put all your financial goal. You can change this to, of course, maybe health, social media, whatever, put everything. Write the what, put the why. Okay, I'm going to fill it up with realistic or relatable examples so that it's easier for us to use. So how will you do it? So let's take, for instance, you decide that you want to start saving more in 2025. I'm sure most of us had a goal. I will save 2 million naira in 2020 in a particular year. And by the time you check your bank account at the end of the year, you're wondering, I don't even have up to 200,000. And that's because, yes, you said you were going to save, but you did not detail how. So you say from your income, I'm going to be saving 20%, 30%, and you are intentional about it and you do it. There's no, except the bank. The bank cannot run away with your money or whatever savings platform you're using. Runs away with your money. If you do that diligently, you are going to actually achieve that goal. And it is with whatever you are also defining. So the question here would be that if you have a goal that you already set or that you already defined, is there anyone here that is finding it difficult to define the how? We can talk about it. If that's fine by you. Maybe you set a goal. Because I believe that every goal you set, there must always be an execution plan. There must always be an execution plan. So detail the execution plan. Okay? Now, the next is when. Like I talked about timely. You need to know when you must have set and achieved that goal and you must write it. One thing that I realized is that how and when goes hand in hand together. Because when you're writing how, and when you know when you achieve it, you need to know how you do it. Because if it's something that you need to achieve very fast, if you have to maybe pay someone to help you support you with that goal or however it is, you'll be able to define it clearly. And then I know most people talk about what, how, when, the who. I believe we're not independent human. We're not created to be independent. We're created to, depend on people to get help. As we are now, they're supposed to be, excuse me, a dependent creature. So if you set the goal, sometimes you may want to ask yourself, who is going to support me to set it? Sometimes your who could be an accountability partner. And sometimes your who is you. Sometimes your who is you. You write it. You understand? I have to put in the work. So for instance, now my fitness goal, who is going to help me exercise, or it's going to help me eat healthy and not be eating ice cream at 11 p.m. in the night. It's me, right? So you need to sometimes write your goal. So I hope this, really makes sense and strike a chord with you. So never ever set your goals in isolations of the system. This is a system that will work. Don't let anyone deceive you that you need to do anything to achieve your goals. If you can define your goals clearly like this, with knowing the what, the why, the how, the when, and the who, I believe you're 50% close to achieving your goals. Trust me, 50%, because then you are clear about it. There's no way, except you are now a lazy person. Well, laziness is now another factor, and the fact that you are not willing to execute. The common mistake most people make is that after they've done all this exercise, like I remember watching do all this exercise, and I'll call this lady. how far your goals? Have you reviewed them? And the person was like, ah, no. I said, when last did you review your goal? The person mentioned to me 2 months ago. And I remember that she had goals that she had to achieve in. Sorry about that, guys. Hmm. Am I muted? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Okay, so now, as I think I was mentioning why I was now. So you cannot define your goal in isolation with the system. Define your goals, write all this things out. Okay, yeah, this is right. So the lady said, oh, in 2 months she hasn't reviewed the goal. And I was like, oh my goodness. I think you had set goals that needed to be achieved in about 2 weeks thereabout, and you didn't. So there's no point also setting the goals and you're not willing to put in the work. So laziness is another factor. You need to discipline yourself. No one is going to come and help you achieve anything. You have to decide. If you want a change in your life, you have to be the one to help yourself. So I see why a lot of people become mediocres or become average, especially when they are in their adulthood stage. I'll tell you why. When we were in secondary school or in primary school, you know what they did for us? They created systems for us. They would have created your timetable when they are teaching you, when you're supposed to eat. There's a system that is guiding you. And you say that you sometimes you tell yourself, I used to be the best student in my secondary school. But when I entered university or when I'm in the labor market now, it's just looking like I'm not, the best. And it's because you thrive more in the system that was created. So you as a person right now that there are no systems to guide you, then there'll be what they call it reading time. You have to create a system. If you have goals to read 5 books, you have to create that system that will allow you to read. You have to be intentional and disciplined. After all this, I say motivation will not help you. You can listen to all the motivational book, podcast, whatever, but you have to do the work. Okay. Now, we have about 25 minutes to go. So let's quickly go because I also want to talk about vision board as well and do like a Q&A because it's supposed to be a 2 hours session. So these are some of the things that has helped and I believe will help you. Review and adjust and explain. Now that you've everything, you set your goals, you know the what, why, when, and how. You need to always review your goals on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and on a quarterly basis. You cannot leave your goal setting to, okay, you set it today and you check it December 2025. You're not going to, you most probably won't achieve everything on that. So what you want to do now is that you want to set a system. Like I remember when I told you, I said the goals that you can achieve is based off of what? Systems, if anyone can remember, execution, right? So now, the system you set for yourself in reviewing your goals. So what I do for my weekly review for all my goals. So now, okay, let me quickly go to the template and let us walk through it. So by the way, this is a very amazing template, and I'll tell you why. Let's say you put your why, how. I'm going to put another field where you put your who. And okay, this is an amazing template. So now, every time you come here, if you decided maybe the time frame for the goal is that you want to achieve it by January. Remember how we said it needs to be timely. Or they were already color coded already, right? So when you over on this color, you're going to see red, yellow, green. So when you type in, let's say R and you go up, it's going to show. When you type in Y, it's going to show yellow. Or it's very easy, but I'll explain how to use it. Okay. Now, red is for it did not complete. Y is that is in progress. G is that is completed. Blue is to like, okay, you don't really know when it will happen, or you're just putting an estimate that it will happen at that time. You're not sure if it happened in May, or please give me a second. Let me just. All right. Back to. Sorry about that. Is my daughter? She wants to come and just like to put her out. Now, blue. April, if you're not sure it's going to happen in April because of certain factors, you just put blue. You understand, right? So, and you might say, okay, I want to achieve it in April. Why? This is the goal, Abby. So let's say, let me do an example. Let's do it together. Let's say we want to save 2,000 USD in Q1. You guys can tell that this is very smart and with an assumption I paid about it. So you can come here and put, okay, your is in progress, yellow. Maybe you're saving. Yeah. By the way, just type the first letter, it will change. Yellow. That is important. And remember, Q1 ends in March. So what you just do is Y. Okay. So when you come, you know that this is in progress. But the ones that maybe you were not able to achieve it, so you just come, you just put R. That's where you didn't achieve. It's very easy. By the time you get the template, it's very straightforward. I don't know if it's confusing anyone. No one. There are two templates I'm going to share with you. That's one for your 1 year goal. You can put all your 1 year goal in that, and then we move to the 12-week year planner. So I'll recommend that for this one, put all your goals for 20 and try to just, put in like the color code for the progress, for the status, to all of that here. And remember, I said you should track your goals weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. So this is good. This is good for monthly. Every month you can come here and update the color so that you know where you are at. So the first thing you want to do, you want to fill up all of this columns, okay? And then you move to updating the status. That's that. Now, remember that all of your goals are timely, so that means you know what quarter you want to achieve them. Then you now come to this weekly planner. I know it might look like a lot of work for you, but if you want to achieve great things, you have to put in great work. Okay, so now whatever bucket you have, you can edit and change. So there are questions that guide you. What do you want to achieve? Which is still simply what do you need to achieve? This is now detailed. You can now write it in details. So every quarter, did you achieve this? How do you feel? So we have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So you can decide the first quarter, you put all the goals. Remember that on this sheet, you put all your goals for 12 years, and you can use this to track it monthly. So you now come here and bucket it again into quarters. So all the ones that you put in quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, you don't need to focus on them yet, except you need to create habits that will help you achieve them. So after, so you know that January to March, this is the only sheet you are really, really focusing on. Okay. I mean, I hope this makes sense. Let me hear from you guys, or is it confusing you,
Yes.
or would you rather just
It's totally making sense.
just put it in? Yeah, great. So that's what. Okay, great. Thank you very much for the feedback. So now, again, just reiterating. Sorry, I like to repeat myself so much. Apologies for people that don't like people repeating themselves. For this sheet helps you write every of your whole bucket. It's still the same categories that you have here, right? Once you bucketed everything, yeah, now carry whatever you put here and put it into quarters. I'm thinking of even made it this sheet. No, I'll make it separate just like this. So just take out from this list that you do all the goals you want to do in Q1. Now do this, then here. And know that this is what you're focusing on Q1, review and move on. Q2, which is Q1, by the way, is January, February, March. Q2 is April, May, June. Q3 is July, August, September. You understand, Abby? Just so that it's not confusing quarter. And that's pretty much how to, set goals that will work on your life. This is what a lot of great people do. These are just people that are just disciplined enough because they know right now. 1 second, please. Sorry about that. So they know that when they were in secondary school, I use that example, and if you're at your job, they have created system, you have to be in work by 8 and everything. That's why things are working for them in those environment. They know that they also have to create their own environment or their own system so that they can try. So this is your own system that you're creating. Please follow duly. I'm begging you. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll just say mine and it's left for you to do, okay? All right. Back to our slides. Review and adjust. So now we understand how to review and adjust. You're checking monthly, you're checking quarterly, and you're checking annually. And of course, I know that you need to, yes. I have what I created what I call an habit tracker. You know that the sum total of your habits will determine, the results you would also get, especially when you define your goal. So one of the things that I may not have pointed out here, but you're in a workshop, is I want you to also, for goals that you think that are huge or they are just so big to achieve, I want you to create habits that will help you become more perfect, that will help you become a better version of yourself to help you achieve those goals. Let me explain. So if you're someone that wants to do personal development, and I am hoping that everyone should have a personal development goal. Please, as we pursue money, as we pursue whatever thing we're pursuing, your personal development is very important for you to actually achieve those things. Okay. So now let's say you are, and one of the things you want to do is to read more self-help books in this year, and you have difficulties in reading or focusing. You may want to start building a habit of saying you read 10 pages a week. Sorry, 10 pages a day, or start small, 5 pages a day. So sometimes from your goals, you can derive certain habits, and the habits should come from goals that you feel that you might struggle with. So remember that my fitness goal challenge was, okay, I realized that, okay, maybe walking, okay, so I need to build a habit of always, walking daily to help me build capacity with fitness. So yes, I needed to mention that. So second thing here is self-reflection and journaling. Write a letter to your future self. So everyone here, I want to look at your faces, and I'm really serious about this right now. And I feel like even stop presenting. Have any of you written to your future self and decided to open that letter at a particular time in your life? And if you have, I really want to hear your experience, because this is something that is just mind blowing and has worked for myself and so many people that have quote using this. Hey, my military participant, though, they will not talk.
Okay, okay. I
Please
have
stop.
one too. I didn't write a letter, but I wrote a couple of stuffs. I didn't address it in the letter,
Okay.
like
Okay. All right.
just some
Thank you for
things.
your, yeah. I feel like Orias and Oyin. I'm just kidding. But yes, guys, seriously, yeah. Now, when you write, when you write to your future self, you know what you're doing. You're promising yourself that you would achieve. And it's interesting. This is something that I started actually very recently and started sharing with people. So what I do is in the beginning of this one is not a quarterly thing I open. So once I finish setting my 1 year goal, I would write a letter to myself and just I think what I'll do is I'll try to look for a template of I'll create a template out of one of the letters that I've written to my future self, right? Of how of things that I want to achieve. Oh, sorry, my network um messed up here. So I was talking about, journaling or writing a letter or sending an email to your future self. So you tell your future self this is what you want to do and everything, and promise yourself the things that you want to achieve. And trust me, there's this the sense of fulfillment and gratitude you feel once you open up that letter. So at by December 31st. So for me, I do 1 year. And I'm even thinking that I'm considering writing doing 5 years, although I'll still keep doing the 1 year, but writing a 5 year letter to myself and see how it goes. So the fulfillment, the it's just the experience is beautiful. So you're accountable to someone because sometimes we forget that you use yourself, you are someone's daughter, you are someone's son, yeah, you are someone's someone. But we don't look at ourselves from that outside perspective. Let's take, for instance, it's easier for you to, support, motivate people, drive them, and say, you can do this, don't worry, I'll pray for you, I'll do that, I'll do that. It's easier. And when it now comes to yourself, you see that you're struggling, you're fighting, you feel like, me that I am advising people, I'm finding it hard to take my own advice or maybe my advice is not working. Sometimes you want to look at yourself from, I'm the second person and treat yourself with the same kindness you treat other people, with the same motivation you give to other people. So one of the things that I encourage you to do, like I said, this is things that have worked for me and I've worked for a lot of people that I know. Commit to writing a letter to your future self and opening it December 2025. It will be interesting to see, I mean, what or how you feel and the results that you get doing this. Okay, so I hope that we do that as well. Can you guys confirm that you can hear me clearly because of my internet is not the greatest right now?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. So another thing is courage. Whew, I had to put this because as someone that would typically struggle with very scary goals, I'd say, let me, for lack of a better word, I'll say for someone okay, that is always worried about what people would say. Yes, what people say. So when I started social media, or it's not like when I started social, when I started deciding that I want to start putting myself out on social media, giving thought leadership, I will always be like, what would people say that? It's not, I was always feeling like how people would not necessarily laugh at me because I consider myself as someone that, I mean, even in real life, whatever I'm doing online is pretty much the same thing I do, in real life. People know me to be that girl that likes to mentor, likes to give guidance, like, or just coming out there. Oh, will people accept my perspective? So, for instance, now me telling you to um, write a letter to your future self might sound kind of weird and cringe to some people, but and you know how the world of social media can be. People are very brutal. People don't care. There are a lot of people words, and I'm like, I don't know. I was worried about my colleagues at work. I was worried about a lot of things, but I can tell you that because of the little courage that I did, and I know that by next year, this is me allowing you guys to be my accountability partner, and I'm going real straight for social media, posting more. I was able to get one of my biggest coaching clients, and the person has never met me. The person just watched one of my videos, and videos from years ago. This is just mind blowing. But I just told myself, if I hadn't been courageous to post that video as it is, yes, I was watching it one time with my virtual assistant. Yeah. So I was like, you. How did I say that? Did I do that? No. But interestingly, one of the clients, the one that paid was from one of those videos. So I want you to be courageous and go for it. Like I said, I don't want it to be so motivational. This is action, action, action plan. Do. I don't want to go, but please take courage. The truth is, at the end of the day, you have to gut yourself. No one is coming to help you. I think that is my motto or my theme for today. No one is coming to help me. I have to help myself. I have to fight for it. So please do that as well. Okay, so the next thing will be execution. Okay. You set goal and you decide to just let it lie down. You want to be ruthless. You want to be savage with your execution. You want to be savage, like decide and tell yourself that whatever it takes, we give it to get it. Because, I mean, like, you don't want to keep living that life of regrets. You don't want to live a life of, I wish. Whatever it takes, go for it. Success is never by chance. I've not seen anyone that fell into success by chance, except for those people that gamble or won the lottery. Even those ones that won the lottery, that even some of their stories afterwards is always very unappealing. So success takes intentionality. Success takes hard work. You've heard this. You have to work hard. You see, for me to be here sharing all this, I had to take time to create this slide. I had to take time to design this thing. It didn't just come casually. It's not a walk in the park. So you want to ruthlessly execute. Another thing is discipline. Where motivation cannot take you, discipline will take you. If you know that your goal requires you to wake up early to do certain things, maybe you don't have time and you have said that you want to do this for yourself. If you have to wake up earlier than you used to, you have to do it. Discipline is determination. You have to determine. I don't know. They can't teach discipline. That's the truth. I've realized no one can teach you discipline. Well, maybe if you are in the army where they, force you. But for yourself, now you're not in the army, even though people are acting like soldiers army. But you have to be disciplined. Trust me. There's you can't achieve anything without discipline. Moving on, visualization. Okay, so this is where we talk about our vision board. Now, in 2019, I came across a video by Steve Harvey, I believe, and Oprah Winfrey. Excuse me. On how they do vision boards, like they put all their goals on, their MA board. They see it, they look at it every single day, and how it's become they manifested. And it sounded very, I don't know, it sounded weird, but then everybody caught the vision board work on YouTube, and it was everywhere. And I was like, okay, let me try and see what it's all about, because sometimes we judge things we do not understand, and I think that was where I was at that point. I was judging things that I do not understand. Like, just put pictures. How does it work? Me, I believe in hard work. I believe in, hopefully chance. But one thing is that you can trick your brain, especially with visualization. You trick your brain to believe what you want to believe it to be. So if you're someone that, maybe I'll tell you my travels, like I've always wanted to travel the world, see the world. And when I started vision boarding, although now I've changed it from vision boarding to prayer board, that's what I call it right now. So vision boarding is just taking taking different pictures of of your goals, essentially, like putting everything together in sorry, just 1 second, please. Sorry, can you guys hear me? Someone texted me that they can't hear anything.
I can hear you clearly.
I
Can you
can
share
hear
that?
you as well.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I was talking about it. So visual board is just a visual representation of your goals. So remember that you've written all your goals down. So when you put your goals in visuals, and every morning you can see it. So what I do right now is I have it as my what's it called, wallpaper as well. When you see it every day, it serves as a reminder and as a push and as a drive to push you to want to work and push you to want to get it. So I was talking about my travel desires and goals, even though I was extremely broke at the point. But I remember that I knew I wanted to see the world, right? And one of the things that I always put in my vision, or I'll put in my goal, is that, okay, travel to 2 countries, 3 countries, even though at the time when I'm writing it, I don't know how it will happen. But I remember that I'll put it there and, just put things that I want there. And I don't know, for some, it's not magic. Don't let me lie. I work towards the ball. For most of the time, I always achieve it. So let me open real quick. I have a workbook that you guys would use, and I will show you how to create a vision board, because we are almost we've actually passed time, and I want us to do one up. So this is a workbook. So I told you last year we did vision. I did a physical session where we all designed our vision, physical vision, but it was really nice and all. So this is the workbook that we use. So I have like a very beautiful letter for you. I'll just quickly go through it. What is a vision board? Why should you make a vision board? When to make a vision board? Categories. So I mean, if you set your goals, this is not necessary. This is this is just bucketing as well, right? I also have like tips and best practices. Make sure that your vision is true to you. Don't go online and look at people's vision board and replicate. Just create something that is true to you. Divide your vision into categories. We already understand this bucketing. This is just simply saying bucketing. Talked about SMART already, so that I wouldn't go through that with you. So this is your worksheet. So I used to use this with my physical clients on how to, if we're doing a vision board. So you guys already have this bucketed here. So it's pretty much the same thing. And also what you guys go to. So we have two tools that we use, Canva and Pinterest. So how you use Canva, I know that a lot of us might be very familiar with Canva, some may not be. So what I did was that it's very simple. If you know how to sign it into Instagram, Facebook, you can also easily sign it into Canva. Very straightforward as well. Pinterest is just is for collecting and organizing images of what you want. So if you want to buy a SUV, for instance, go to Pinterest, look at the color or the type of SUV you want. So that if you want a particular, just type it in Pinterest. It will give you so many ideas and themes and everything you can use there. So what I've done also is to create a vision board template. Let me open this how it works. So when you click on it, you can just click use template on your own design. So with Canva, it's just add and drop. Okay. So this is just come down here. Can you guys see my screen? Mm. Can you guys see my
Yeah, I
screen?
can see us. Yes.
Okay. So just come in here. You don't need to do this word out. This are just all, but you can just come to this picture side. You can read everything. It says put all the pictures in drag and drop. Very straightforward. I just realized I put all the pictures. You can put word of the year. Just I also put an example vision board as well that you can use. Very because of our time, because I want us to quickly do the Q&A. Just drag if you want to put you just download your pictures from Pinterest. Go to Pinterest. Let me just give you the guide. So if you're watching the video, go to Pinterest, download all your inspiration, your be based on your goals. Just come here and upload it and attach it. Is if you use PowerPoint, it's easy. It's just the same thing, drag and drop. And by the way, you can also do it on your phone. It's not necessarily on your laptop. So everything that you need to do. So this is pictures, drag and drop. It will arrange it for you. So one of the things that I'm doing, because sometimes it's very difficult to get magazines, and of course you need to save the earth. I recommend digitally design it and just go to a printing press, tell them to help you print a big copy of it and paste it on a board. That's it. You don't need to cut out. I want you to digitally put it on here. Just go print it out on a board if you want to have physical copy and just stick, and that's it. Or if not, just make it as a wallpaper on your laptop, on your mobile device as well. So that's how to simply make a or design a video. Very sure. And there are many YouTube videos on how to make it. But I mean, just don't waste your time. Just use the template, drag and drop, and that's it. Don't put effort. So another beautiful thing about this is I also I showed how to do a physical vision board, but I just give you a tip that you can do the digital one and go and print and paste. But this exercise is beautiful. It just makes you do like you're doing undercraft and feel like you're doing undercraft for high school students. So another thing, I created some affirmations for you. You can also read them how to motivate you to drive you as well. So now we talked about a vision board. Now we've gone to how to create a vision board. I think that's about it. And the next thing is Q&A. So yeah, we have 5 minutes above our time frame. So do we have any questions? Do we have any questions at all? Let me stop sharing so I can see our faces. Okay. So everything is clear. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, thank you, Jemima. Jemima said all is clear.
Yeah, everything is clear so far.
Okay. It's now the action that remains. Okay. All right. So Raisa, Ori, any other person? Chika. Okay. So I believe thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. Thank you, Raisa. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't worry, God will help you. So Anna said, God, just help us now. God will definitely help you. You have to help yourself. Okay, so I think Fini has a question, right? Or did I? Fini, Joshua, Olajumoke, Ori, Success, Uzuma. Yes, we just need to implement. Right. Yes, right, sir. Any other person? Aziz, do you have any question?
No, I'm fine.
Thank you. Okay, so I get okay. Also, let's hear you. You're welcome. Also, you raised your hand.
Yes. I wanted to ask, okay, why we said this vision board? I don't know. Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, I can clearly.
Okay. Why we said this vision board that we start the year, we start working towards it. What happened? Like, okay, you've done this over the years. What happens when you get stuck? Are you okay? You feel stuck and you feel like things are not going what motivates you if you feel like things are not going the way you want it to go? Like you are not saying that vision that you set is not coming to view anytime soon. How do you keep yourself motivated along the way?
Yeah, no, that's a very, very good question. So now, you remember when I said that when you set a goal, there must be a why. Why? So for me, most times it's my why that keeps me motivated. And there are times where I have dropped certain goals, like when I know that it is, you know, maybe after I prayed, um, and maybe I just had a vision that my why is my motivation most of the time. I just look at it, so why do I, and in the case where I'm really, really struggling with it, sometimes I believe that if that is when I know that okay, I've put in the work truly. Oh, I've done everything that I require to do to achieve that goal, and it's still not coming through. Then I might just put it forward or push it forward until I maybe get a leading or I get motivated to do it. Because one thing I realized is that if a goal doesn't come into maturity, sometimes it just holds you back for other things. I just focus on the things that are working. That isn't the case where I've tried all my best and I know, humanly speaking, I've done my best to do what I'm supposed to do, but it's not coming through. Just push it maybe to another quarter and focus on the ones that are working. Yeah. And that's what keeps me going on. That's what keeps driving me.
Okay,
I hope
thank
that
you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
you're welcome. Oh, Abiola, you have your hands up. Let's hear you. Abiola, happy.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good
Sorry, I didn't
evening.
hear the question. I was a bit distracted.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was just asking that if you had any question, if everything is clear,
If I had,
if you had any questions at all, or if everything is clear.
oh, not at all, not at all. Thank you so much.
I hope you will be implementing or see there's no point of acquiring so much knowledge without implementation or execution. Please, there is no
Yes, I'm
require
going to
it.
try my best.
Yeah, I trust you will. I trust you all will. Okay. All right. So I guess in the absence of no more questions, I want to really appreciate you for taking out time to be in this workshop. And I hope that our lives have been changed and transformed. Once again, I'm always rooting for you. I believe in you, and I am excited to get your feedback, testimonies. Don't forget to connect with me on my social media. Remember, I said I have social media goals. I'll be happy to, connect there as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I have to go. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye. Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You.